I'd like to call Public Service Subcommittee to order. Thank you all for being here today. We have a lengthy calendar, so please bear with us. Members, please sign in if you've not. Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll? Madam Clerk, announce the roll.
Madam Chair, you have 6 members present. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Do we have any personal orders today from any of our members? If not, we'll do a little housekeeping. I want to call everyone's attention to item number 3, which is House Bill 2540. That's been rolled 2 weeks. Item number 8, House Bill 2224 has been taken off notice. Item number 20, House Bill 1485 has been rolled 1 week. Item number 21, House Bill 1182 has been taken off notice. Item number 22, House Bill 1696, rolled 2 weeks. That brings us to item number 1, which is House Bill 2506.
That's the one we need to roll behind number 12.
Okay, I've just been told we're going to roll this, House Bill 2506 to behind number 12, behind item number 12 on our agenda. Next up, we have item number 2, which is House Bill 166 by Speaker Pro Tem Marsh. Do I have a motion and a second? We have. There is an amendment on the bill. Do we have a motion and a second on the amendment? And could you give me the drafting code?
13647.
And we do have a motion and a second. If there's no objections, we'll add that to the bill. All in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, no. The amendment goes on the bill, and you're recognized to present your legislation.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The intent of this legislation is to recognize that legislative districts in Shelby County extend to the current county boundary line between Shelby and Fayette counties, affecting Congressional District 8, Senate District 31, south of Interstate 40, Senate District 32, north of Interstate 40, and House District 99. We're just moving the district boundary into concurrence with what we changed a couple of years ago on the county lines. We're making the voting lines the same as the county lines. Be glad to answer any questions.
You've heard the explanation, and we do have a question. Representative Salinas.
Thank you so much for bringing this bill. This is something that has caused a lot of problems for me. When I was chair of the Shelby County Democratic Party, we got a call from the comptroller stating that those lines did not match. We had an area where there were 2 candidates that ran for office that were not part of the county because they were that part belonged to another county, but all of the houses and all the people that lived in that area were voting with Shelby County and were paying taxes with Shelby County. We had to go to court multiple times. My question is, why did that occur, and how can we keep it from happening ever again in other areas? Your bill is very specific to Shelby County, but can you speak to that?
You're recognized.
I don't know how it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't have happened this time. But when we changed the county line, it was very confusing. Like you said, these people were in Fayette County, but they paid property taxes in Shelby County, and they voted in Shelby County. And I think it was just a mistake. And hopefully it won't happen again. But I'm glad we figured this out because it affected a lot of people.
You have another question? You're recognized.
Do you know why those people were paying tax? If it wasn't in the county, why were they paying taxes for Shelby? I don't know. I'm just asking.
I don't know either.
Okay.
You're recognized.
In line for campaigning and voting is what this does. It was a mess. hopefully we're going to straighten it out today.
Do we have any more questions? Seeing none, we're ready to vote. Madam Clerk, please open the vote. All in favor, please, moving this on to full committee, please indicate by saying aye. And those opposed, no. Has every member voted? Does anyone wants to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Madam Chair, you have 5 ayes and 0 noes.
The ayes have it, and this bill moves on to full committee.
Number 4.
Next up is item number 4, which is House Bill 1910 by Chairman Hicks, Representative Hicks, Chairman Hicks, all of the above. You have a motion and a second. There are no amendments filed, so Representative, you're recognized to explain your bill.
All right. Thank you, Chair Lady. And I know I'm probably out of order, but before I begin the presentation, I would like to recognize several folks we have in the audience and those state troopers, the association led by, of course, Alex Campbell. I've asked them to please stand if they could be recognized. all the
Yes,
state
most
troopers.
certainly. Please stand. Glad you're with us today.
Thank you. I know that was out of order, but I appreciate
You're
that.
fine.
Chair Lady, House Bill 1910 addresses the Tennessee retirement system currently in effect for the Tennessee Highway Patrol. This legislation, called the STAR Act, would give troopers the ability to retire after 25 years of credible service with a maximum of 75% of their average final compensation. This legislation will also help to recruit and retain new troopers, especially in the hybrid plan, as they make the THP their career choice. As you know, being in law enforcement has drastically changed in recent years. Our THP has responded to many events. I want to list a couple of those. COVID response, protests, natural disasters like Helene, and most recently Ice Storm Fern, Memphis Task Force response, school threats, and of course, many, many more. The health effects of this employment also takes a toll. Cardiovascular disease is much higher than other jobs. And of course, mental health and substance abuse issues are common, just like dealing with PTSD. Increased risk of injury when dealing with traffic stops and traffic accidents is also, of course, a part of this job. All this leads up to the fact that when a trooper does retire, the average lifespan, I want y'all to hear this point. All this leads up to the fact that when a trooper does retire, the average lifespan after retirement is only around 5 years. 5 years. 5 years left to spend time with their family and their loved ones. So certainly being a THP trooper does take a toll. This is a needed bill. Our law enforcement men and women deserve it. But of course, down here in Nashville, timing is everything. And we still need more time to work on this bill. So after meeting with the treasurer and his staff, and after discussions, of course, with my counterpart in the Senate, Bo Watson, we're going to continue to work on this piece of legislation over the summer and come back next year to do what is needed to help support our highway patrolmen. They do a great job every day to make the lives of every Tennessean safe. And with that, Madam Chair Lady, reluctantly, I'd like to take this bill off notice.
Do that, and we'll look forward to you being back here next year.
All right. Thank you, Chair Lady and members.
This bill is off notice. We're going to go a little bit out of order. We have some representatives here that need to get to other committees. So we're going to jump to item number 14, which is House Bill 1493 by Representative Slatter. Do we have a motion and a second? We do. There are no amendments filed, and so you're recognized to explain your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for taking me out of order. I have in my district, and you may have in your district, members, historic sites. What this bill will do will allow historic sites to contract with farmers if they have property that's available either to harvest hay or to actually farm. And so that's what this would allow it to do. It would still fall underneath the accountability under the Tennessee Historical Commission. And an amendment
Yes. Oh, we just noticed that
Yeah,
you do have
there-
an
there you
amendment.
go.
I'm so sorry.
There you go. I have amendment drafting code 013523.
So members, we need to get that amendment on the bill. We have a motion and a second. All in favor of putting this amendment on the bill, please signify by saying yes. Those opposed, no. The amendment is now on the bill. So
Very good.
continue.
And members, the amendment just simply clarifies some technical corrections. So the bill is, as I explained, it would allow historic sites to contract with farmers to farm land that is part of this historical site. The money from any of that farming, any of the proceeds would go back into maintaining the historic site itself. With that, I stand ready for questions.
Do we have any questions? Yeah. Oh. We had a question. You, Representative Salinas, please go ahead.
I'll be brief. So your amendment does not rewrite the bill. It's just in addition to what the bill is saying, right?
You're recognized.
That is correct. It's a clarifying amendment. That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Are we ready to vote? Madam Clerk, please open the board. All in favor, please indicate by voting aye. Those opposed, no. Please take the vote.
Madam Chair, you have 4 ayes and 1 present not voting.
The ayes have it, and your bill moves on to full committee.
Thank you, Chair and
Uh-huh.
Committee.
We have another one we're going to take out of order, and that is item number 9, and that is House Bill 1865 by Representative Faison. We have a motion and a second. No amendments. Representative, you're recognized to explain your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair Lady, for taking me out of order. Committee, it is certainly good to be with you. Y'all are probably going to be shocked by this admission, but there are times the legislature passes bills that they probably didn't think fully through. And don't laugh. There are times we look later on, a decade later or more, and realize, you know what? Probably shouldn't have done it that way. And this is one of those that 14 years ago, we passed a bill and it really hurt people who live inside of 50 miles of the Capitol. I've got a person serves here from Montgomery County. I was talking to his counterpart in Montgomery County yesterday. He lives 41 miles from here. If he drives in on the morning, it takes him 2 hours to get here. Sometimes in the evening, it can take him more than 2 hours. So he ends up staying in town at times and has to take a loss because he lives closer than 50 miles and he doesn't get the normal per diem. So this is just I'm trying to help the people who live within 50 miles up to 25 miles. Feel like that would be more fair for them, especially the ones that we are friends with that have to stay here because it takes so long to get home in the evening. So that's all this bill does, sets up where you can, basically, if you live outside of 25 miles now, you can get per diem.
Members, you've heard the explanation. Do we have any questions on this bill? Seeing none, we're ready to vote. Madam Clerk, please open the vote. All in favor, please vote aye. Those opposed, no. Madam Clerk, take the vote.
Madam Chair, you have 6 ayes and 0 noes.
And
Thank you, Committee.
ayes have
Chair
it,
Lady.
you move on to full committee. And next up, we have item number 5, which is House Bill 1911 by Representative Shaw. Do we have a motion and a second? We do, and there is no amendments filed. And so, Representative, you're recognized to explain your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members. This very simple bill, what this bill is actually asking that we do is to allow people who live in other states to be able to obtain their records in the state of Tennessee. There were some issues in the past where people were trying to get their records who lived in other states. In fact, in Alabama, but were not able to get their records here in Tennessee. So all this bill does, in spite of the department seeming to suggest that we are trying to bring illegal aliens in, this is not about that. It's just about me living in Tennessee, living in another state and want to get my records from Tennessee. That's all this bill does. And with that, I would ask for a favorable vote on it. If you could, please, ma'am and members.
Do we have any questions? Yes, Representative Salinas.
Thank you, Chairwoman. This applies only for, like, if it's my own individual records that I'm seeking, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Representative Warner?
Thank you, Madam Chair. What seems to be the problem now with obtaining records?
Thank you for the question. We had a person who got arrested in Tennessee but lived in Georgia and was never able to get their records in Tennessee because for whatever reason, they just didn't feel like they needed to give them to them. So we just want to clarify the record that if you live in another state and need to get your records in Tennessee, they are available.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any more questions? Are we ready to vote? Madam Clerk, please open the board. All in favor, please vote aye. Those opposed, no. Has everyone voted? Anyone want to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Madam Chair, you have 4 ayes and 2 noes.
The ayes have it, and your bill moves on to full committee. Up next, we have item number 6, which is House Bill 1919 by Representative Miller. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second? We do. No amendments filed. Representative, you're recognized to explain your bill.
Good morning, Madam Chair, lady, members. House Bill 1919 enacts the Parental Rights to Participate in Schools Act, authorizes a state employee who is a parent or guardian to take up to 48 hours of leave within the calendar year to attend school-related activities for the employee's child, authorize the employee to take unpaid leave or use available paid leave, including vacation, personal, family, compensatory, or leave bank leave at the discretion of the employee. Authorize state employers to deny leave if granting such leave would create a substantial disruption to business operations. The number of additional days or leave that any such employee will take is unknown, but is reasonably assumed to vary from employee to employee based on the personal circumstances. The leave allowance is unlikely to create a need for hiring additional staff or paying overtime. And with that, Madam Chair, lady, members, ask for your affirmative support.
Do we have any questions? Yes, Representative Salinas.
Do you have any research on the benefits of parents that are involved and positive outcomes?
Well, yes, actually, in my research and my statements, there's quite a bit of positive outcomes.
Thank you.
Any more questions? If not, Madam Clerk, please open the board for vote. If you're in favor of this bill, please vote yes. If you're opposed, no. Does anyone wish to change their vote? If not, Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Madam Chair, you have 2 ayes and 4 noes.
I'm sorry, but your bill fails.
Jim Keeson's here, or do you want to take Howell up? Or?
I'm going to go ahead and take Keys when he's been sitting here a minute, then I'll go back to you. Up next, we have item number 7, which is House Bill 2204 by Representative Kiesling. We have a motion and a second. There are no amendments, so Representative, you're recognized to explain your bill.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair, committee. Senator Yeager has brought this to me. This is regarding a request for a TASER study. Our sheriff, actually, Macon County Sheriff, we share Macon County, and he approached the senator regarding TASER study when it comes to the study would examine how current salaries and benefits is paid to state and local law enforcement officers, how it would affect recruiting, staffing, and retention, and particularly in the smaller city and county departments, and also assist maybe in evaluating potential alternatives for improvement. Senator Yeager, of course, chairs TASER that of course you all know, but this does not, or this request would not, we're not looking to impose any mandate on our counties, and that's just not the intent at all. But again, it's just requesting a TASER study. And with that, Madam Chair, I'll address any questions.
Do we have any questions for our sponsor? If not, we'll move to vote. So, Madam Clerk, please open the vote. All in favor of this bill, please signify by saying yes. Those opposed, no. Has everyone voted? Does anyone want to change their vote? If not, please take the vote.
Madam Chair, you have 6 ayes and 0 noes.
Ayes have it, and your
Thank
bill
you, Madam
moves on to
Chair.
full committee.
Committee.
Now we're going to jump back to item number 1, which is House Bill 2506 by Chairman Howell. We have a motion and we have a second. There are no amendments filed, and there is an amendment? Okay, we do have an amendment.
Yes,
Could you give me
ma'am.
that drafting code?
Let me look for it here, ma'am. I'm looking. It may not have been put in my packet, Madam Chair.
014282.
That sounds correct. It makes the bill. I do not believe it was put in my, I do apologize.
That's okay. Question's been called.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we're going to say the drafting code one more time, and it's 014282.
I believe that's
And
correct.
there is a motion and a second. All in favor? Indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. Your amendment is on the bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, this bill was brought to me by the Speaker. The goal of the bill is to protect the personal safety of law enforcement officers who are involved in the immigration enforcement, and it ensures that sensitive operational details are kept confidential while protecting public safety. What the bill does, it requires that the names, home addresses, contact information, and other personal identifying details of federal, state, and local officers involved in immigration enforcement remain confidential. It requires that specific details about future immigration enforcement operations, including dates and times, locations, logistics, strategies, all remain confidential. This legislation is about officer safety,
operational integrity and public trust. It ensures those enforcing our laws can do their jobs without fear or retaliation, as we have seen in some other states. And I would respectfully ask for a positive vote. Thank you.
We have two representatives that would like to ask questions. And first, we're going to Representative Salinas.
Thank you. So this, I know we have a lot of officers that are doing good work and do follow standards and have been exemplary law enforcement officers, but we also have bad acting ones. And we saw a report that came out from the federal, from operations that happened in Nashville, where federal agents that were here in our state were marking people on their arms, saying we're going hunting for immigration enforcement. And it was some of the people that spoke up were Tennessee Highway Patrols and saying, hey, you're on camera, or hey, this is not how we do things. So I believe that the people of Tennessee deserve to know how their money is being spent. And if this was a narrower and didn't include federal people that are in our state and have been shown to do and have behavior, as a Tennessean that loves the state and loves our country, to have that, to protect that behavior in our state and in our under our flag, I have severe concerns with that. So can you please explain your logic, having those reports have gone out, why we're including federal agents on this?
You're recognized.
Well, as the father and grandfather of two members of law enforcement, this is important to me personally, because I know the vast majority of our law enforcement personnel are people of integrity who want to serve the public. And we have also included in this bill is carefully crafted legislation that will also penalize those who break the law. Law enforcement officers have to abide by the law as well as the citizens. So this is a very narrowly drawn bill and says immigration enforcement is a matter of statewide and national concern. Officer safety does not vary by zip code. And this state has decided that we will cooperate with federal law enforcement agencies, and therefore that's why they are included in this bill.
You have another question?
Yes. I mean, did you read the report?
I have not.
So you're confidently saying that these people deserve protection even though you haven't read the report that states otherwise?
You're recognized.
This bill does not protect illegal activity by a law enforcement officer. It protects their names, their addresses, their families, their phone numbers, and prevents them from being doxxed like was done in Minnesota.
You're recognized.
It does.
Okay. If we're going to be subsidizing the federal government, I think that Tennesseans deserve to have full transparency in this.
Next up, we have Representative Warner.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, sponsor, for the bill. I'm definitely going to vote for the bill, but just some clarification. Does this bill just pertain to illegal immigration?
You're recognized.
This bill does not address illegal immigration. It addresses law enforcement and protecting their identity, their names, their addresses, their phone numbers. The bill is carefully drafted to respect federal and court authority. Nothing in the bill would eliminate that. It includes explicit exceptions for court orders and lawful information sharing. So any law enforcement officer caught doing something that he shouldn't do, breaking the law, they will be dealt with in accordance with the existing law and through the courts. This just keeps them from being doxxed when they're doing their job.
You're recognized.
Let me try to reframe that question. it looks like in the amendment here that the bill is only dealing with immigration laws. And my question is that the intent of this bill is to only put the policies that you explained in place when dealing with illegal immigration?
You're recognized.
Thank you. This bill, the purpose of this bill is to protect those law enforcement officers, whether they're federal, state, or local, when involved in illegal immigration activities.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, sponsor. You answered your question.
Any more questions for our sponsor? If not, are we ready to vote? Madam Clerk, please open the board. All in favor of this legislation, please signify by voting yes. Those opposed, no. Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Madam Chair, you have 5 ayes and 1 no.
Ayes have it, and your legislation moves on to full committee.
More bill in your committee? Can I-
Yes, sir. That would be House Bill 12, item number 12, House Bill 2216. We have a motion and a second. I don't show any amendments.
I do have. an
You do?
amendment, yeah.
Again, okay. I have your drafting code as 014349.
That's what I have.
That's
Thank you.
correct.
Yes.
All in favor of putting this amendment on the bill, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Your amendment now goes on the bill, and you're recognized to explain your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This legislation was brought to me by the Fiscal Review Staff and Committee, and which I co-chair that committee. It's a joint committee with the House and Senate. First, the bill eliminates the requirement for commerce impact statements, which we have found over a couple of decades that it's insignificant. And it will give the staff more time to diligently dig into the fiscal notes, which we all know about fiscal notes. And we would like for them to focus on that. Secondly, it removes the 1-year threshold for contracts subject to the committee's review. There's currently a 1-year threshold. If the contract is less than 1 year, we do not review it. This removes that threshold. It ensures that contracts valued at $250,000 or more are subject to committee's oversight. It clarifies that contracts adopted by Tennessee agencies from other states or government entities are also subject to this committee's review. For example, we recently had an agency who spent $27 million without fiscal review because of a loophole in the law that allowed them to tag on to another contract in another state. So this closes that loophole, and it affirms the committee's statutory authority to review any state contract if they so desire. And with that, I would ask for a positive recommendation.
Do we have any questions? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please open the board for vote. All in favor, please signify by saying yes. Those opposed, no. Has everyone voted? Does anyone want to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Madam Chair, you have 5 ayes and 1 present not voting.
The ayes have it, and your bill moves on to full committee. Okay, that brings us back to item number 10, which is House Bill 2063 by Representative Towns. Do we have a motion and a second? We do. No amendments filed?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Representative, please explain your bill.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair and members, I've been here a long time. And full disclosure, while I think this bill will help the members, it won't help me if I win the seat that I'm running for currently in Memphis as a criminal court clerk. I won't be back. All right. But what happens is that the Senate is able to, I'm going to term it like this, continue to be educated as they attend conferences and get continuing education courses and things of that nature, where that makes them a little bit ahead of us in terms of knowledge by them being able to attend as many as they want.
the House, both of us are the same body in terms of power, but we have not, and I don't know where this happened, but we are not able to keep up with what's going on in the broader world as we relate and travel to conferences and so forth, because it's been constricted. Now, where that happened, I can't tell you. All I know is that when you attend certain conferences, you learn quite a bit that you bring back to your districts, you bring back to your citizens. It's like lawyers, certain people have to have continuing education course. Well, it's education for us. And I think that the Senate is getting far ahead of us as it relates to being able to keep ourselves current and educated. And so what it does is just simply create a deal where the legislation established the leaders of the Senate and the House must agree on a set number of work-related conferences, 4 days. And that's simply all it does. But that's in essence to try to keep your House members current. Don't let us get too far behind.
Does anyone have any questions for our sponsor? Representative Salinas.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing this bill, because I do think that it's important and you learn a lot from other legislators in other states and what has been done and what hasn't been done, or what worked and what didn't work. So I really appreciate you bringing forth this legislation, because it allows us to continue to get more knowledge. So thanks.
Any more questions? Not. Madam Clerk, please open the board for vote. All in favor of this bill, please signify by saying yes. Those opposed, no. Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Madam Chair, you have 6 ayes and 0 noes.
Much.
Yes, your vote. The ayes have it, and your bill moves on to full committee. Next up is item number 11, which is House Bill 2281 by Representative Martin. We have a motion and a second. It looks like there's no amendments, so you're recognized to explain your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair and committee. This legislation's primary goal is to expand statutory access to agency data and records for key legislative oversight bodies while continuing to safeguard confidentiality of such information. The legislation improves transparency and accountability in state government by making sure legislative oversight has the tools and access needed to analyze budgets, expenditures, impacts of legislative proposals, program performance, and financial records. Information that is prohibited from disclosure by state law, federal law, or federal grant participation agreement that has the force of law or by court order would not be subject to the same disclosure. And with that, I stand ready for question, ma'am.
You've heard the explanation. Does anyone have any questions? If not, we're ready to vote. Please open the board for vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Those opposed, no. Has everyone voted? Anyone wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Madam Chair, you have 6 ayes and 0 noes.
The ayes have it, and you move on to full committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair and committee.
You're most welcome. Item number 13, House Bill 1906, we're going to move to the Hill. Next up is House Bill 15, item number 15, House Bill 2073 by Representative Reeves. We have a motion and a second. No amendments.
No, ma'am.
So you're recognized to explain your bill.
Thank you, Chair Lady. This bill just closes a transparency loophole in Tennessee's lobbying law. Right now, when a private entity hires a lobbyist, they have to register as an employer of that lobbyist. This brings certain public entities into that as well. Thank you.
Do we have any questions for our sponsor? Seeing none, are we ready to vote? Madam Clerk, please open the vote. All in favor of this legislation, please signify by saying yes. Those opposed, no. Has every member voted? Does anybody wish to change their vote? If not, Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Madam Chair, you have 5 ayes and 1 present not voting.
The ayes have it, and your bill moves on to full committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Committee.
Next up, we have item number 16, which is House Bill 1999 by Representative Eldridge. You're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I make a motion to move this to final calendar 2.
Object.
We have an objection. We're voting on previous question. If we're voting on the motion. All in favor of moving this bill to final calendar 2, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? We're going to back that up. All opposed, all of those that are in favor of this bill, please signify by moving the bill. Please signify by saying to final calendar 2. Please signify by saying aye. Those opposed, no. No.
The speaker can give you a script for this part.
So
You're doing it your best, though.
announce the results.
Iris,
of
you
the
got
vote.
this. Don't stress out. Censoring conversation, I know it's difficult, but you can do it.
Thank you for your encouragement.
Yes. Did the speaker give you the script? What did no one in this committee if we're not even allowed to discuss our legislation?
I can't.
We have a chairperson on the committee.
The ayes prevail, and this legislation moves to final calendar 2. Up next, we have item number 17, which is House Bill 1890 by Representative Himmer. We have a motion and a second. Do we don't have any amendments. There is an amendment? Okay, I see it. I have drafting number 013233. All in favor of this? Do I have a motion and a second on this amendment? All in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and this amendment goes on the bill. Representative, you're recognized to explain your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and the members of the committee. Appreciate the opportunity to discuss this bill. It's an open records transparency bill, and House Bill 1890 is much needed oversight bill that would amend Tennessee law to ensure the Department of Education must disclose records and information to any member of the General Assembly when the legislator submits a written request tied to determining whether a state law is being followed or need for revision. A member making such a request include details to help locate the relevant records, and before reviewing the records, the requesting member must sign a confidentiality form and the information stays in custody. So I filed this bill after requesting some information, working alongside our legislative legal counsel this summer, and was just getting stonewalled. Essentially, got to a situation where they were saying certain things were covered by FERPA. Our legislative legal was saying, no, it's not covered by some federal laws. And so we were kind of at a standstill. And I brought in the comptroller's office, open records. They were flummoxed that a legislator was getting stymied with this request. And I was basically left with a situation where I either had to sue or there just wasn't able to get it. And so I kind of felt like when there's smoke, there might be fire. And I just felt like, I looked at other records that we as members of the General Assembly, we can see. There's actually statutory authority for some DCS records. There's statutory authority for, believe it or not, we can go see the TCAP questions. And there's also statutory authority that we can go look at TBI criminal record files. And so the reason I thought this was needed was, there could be instances where, we need to look at some of this stuff. There was concerns with a lot of other state departments, so I limited to what I felt like was the problem, which was the Department of Education. And then surprisingly, I looked at a lot of other states who had some pretty broad authority for the legislative members to go through and look through department records as part of our normal oversight and compliance. The last thing I would say is I did even look at how government op handles this, and other than essentially getting the entire government op committee to request any information, there's not a lot of individual authority. So I understand there may be some confidentiality concerns. So if they are, that's why we put a provision in the law, just like we have for DCS records, that we sign something away. So we can just handle that statutory oversight capabilities that our constituents sent us up here. So that's what the bill does, and I appreciate your support.
We do have someone here that would like to speak on this bill. Anna Hall. We're going to go out of session. Please identify yourself and tell us who you're with, and you have 3 minutes.
Hi, Committee. Anna Hall from the Department of Education. Thanks for having us. I think we appreciate Representative Himmer and him bringing this legislation. We did just want to clarify that this would open up some records that are not protected by federal law, as is a provision of the bill, that are subject to other Tennessee Public Records Act exclusions, such as school safety plans and school building diagrams, as well as our employee records, which would otherwise be protected by Tennessee Public Records exception. So yes, we do have a TCAP exception. That is one, but it would open up school safety plans, and we have concerns about that. So thank you again, Chair Lady, for having us.
Do we have any questions? Yes, Representative Salinas.
I really do appreciate you. I have a lot of questions always. My question is, so the safety aspect of the plans, and I'm assuming floor plans is what you were referencing. Would those not be covered if you signed the confidentiality agreement? You wouldn't be able to distribute any of that because you signed a confidentiality agreement. Or how are you interpreting that?
You're recognized.
Thank you, Representative Salinas. Anna Hall from the Department of Education. Yes, that would be covered under the confidentiality agreement, but I think when we're talking about safety of school buildings, we want to make sure we have maximum amount of control and the least amount of people in the circle of knowledge about what schools have going on at their buildings in terms of protecting children and the safety of them during the school day.
You're recognized.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, Representative Warner, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Ms. Hall, for being here today. If the member here would amend out put in the bill that, that we could not ask for school safety plans. Would the department still have a problem with the bill?
You're recognized.
Thank you, Chair Lady. Thank you, Representative Warner. I think we would still prefer not to be called out, honestly, Representative Warner. We're happy to share with you all any data and information that we are allowed to share pursuant to federal law and other state public records exemptions. And I appreciate the representative bringing this bill, and we are happy to provide anyone with any information that we are allowed to disclose under federal law and other state public records exemptions, just as we would be happy to share it with you, Representative Himmer.
You're recognized.
Yeah, I kind of understand where you're going there, but when there's not transparency in a department, whether it's one department or all departments, taxpayers of the state start to doubt. When they start to doubt, it just creates all kind of trouble. I would like to see us be more transparent. I would hope the department would like to work with the member and try to get this bill to a proper form where you would be acceptable with it. But it's just my opinion, other than giving up safety protocols, that the department needs to be very transparent.
You're recognized.
Thank you, Chair Lady. Yes, sir. We want to be extremely transparent where we are allowed to be pursuant to federal law.
Any more questions? Seeing none. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like to have another word with us today, Representative Himmer? You're recognized. We got to go back into. You have a question? Okay.
It was just a point of order whether we were still going to be able to ask questions of the sponsor,
Okay.
but not.
Yes. We're going back into session. And now I recognize you, Representative Himmer.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee, and I appreciate the comments. I think that it's actually the first time I've heard this concern from the department. So I think I'm more than willing to carve out the school safety related items if I was able to get a list of those. I think where you're going, and the representative made a good point, is transparency is key. I mean, this isn't a bunch of what ifs. We've had situations actually in Arizona this past year where their attorney general had to bring about indictments to several Department of Education employees because they made ghost student accounts and actually took some money from their education freedom scholarship. So this isn't a far-fetched thing. And again, I feel like when there's smoke, there's fire. And I asked for some very reasonable stuff. The information I was requesting was not individual student data. It was really just asking, since the department didn't ask which schools they went to, I just simply asked of those that applied for schools, which ones had an individual student ID number, which you give to public school students, and they wouldn't even provide that data. I was asking for nothing but a denominator. I was asking for a number, and they wouldn't even provide that. So I think what I'm asking for is very common sense. We have previous history in our law of being able to do this for other things. And I think opening up this is only going to provide the transparency that our constituents, urge us to get down here and ask. Again, it's just allowing us, this isn't truly open public records. It's just truly allowing us as members of the General Assembly to uphold our duties to have compliance and oversight to state departments when we see fit. Thank you, members of the committee.
Any more questions? Salinas?
I appreciate the bill because under our Constitution, education is one of the biggest responsibilities that we have. It's also the largest budget line item that we have for our state budget. And I do believe that that the voters and the people that call Tennessee their home deserve to know the information that we're requesting. I like the idea that you have of signing a confidentiality agreement. I want to be sensitive to the department in terms of having an amendment that would cover the safety aspect of it, just so that aspect of it is taken care of. But would this also include schools and information regarding the voucher program?
You're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In terms of schools, it just depends on if it's department-held data related to anything submitted from those schools, and yeah, it would apply.
Do we have any questions? Any more questions? Yes, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I would just commit, if it's the will of the committee, this, see like this is a prudent bill, I'm willing to keep this in full committee to work out mandatory language with the department to make sure those safety concerns are held confidential. Thank you.
So you are not going to roll it a week. You want us to vote on it in sub and you're going to take it up in full, or how would you like for us to handle that?
I'm at the will of the committee. If the committee is wanting me to continue working on it, or if you'd like me to look at it forward,
I think it would be better to keep it in sub. So if it's okay with you, we'll roll it for a week?
Yep.
Okay. House Bill 1890 will be rolled for 1 week.
Thank you.
Next up is item number 18, which is House Bill 1773 by Representative Leatherwood. Motion, second. Are there any amendments filed? No amendments. So you're recognized to explain your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Lady and Committee. This is a simple, straightforward cleanup bill. It authorizes local emergency communication districts, boards of directors to participate by electronic means of communication for any meetings that they have. This was inadvertently taken out. They were inadvertently taken out of the section last year, and this is just putting them back where they were. Thank you.
Do we have any questions for our sponsor? If seeing none, we're ready to vote. Madam Clerk, please open the vote. All in favor of this legislation, please signify by saying aye. Those opposed, no. Please take the vote.
Madam Chair, you have 5 ayes and 1 present not voting.
The ayes have it, and your bill moves on to full committee. Next up, we have item number 19, which is House Bill 2268 by Representative Hale. We have a motion. We have a second. I show no amendments filed. Oh, I show amendment. Yes, we do have an amendment. Could you give me, so we're going to go ahead with no objections. We'll go ahead and we need a motion and second on that amendment. And if there's no objections, we'll go ahead and put this amendment on before it goes on to full. So the code is 013422.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
So all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the amendment goes on the bill, and you're recognized to explain your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Committee. House Bill 268, currently a full-time state employee may take up to 4 courses per academic year at a state-supported institution without paying tuition or required fees. However, current law states that the waiver may only be used for 1 course at a time. There's an existing exception for full-time employees who are required to work more than the typical full-time hours for at least four weeks, allowing them to take more than 1 course at a time, so as long as they do not exceed the 4 courses a year. So this bill simply allows all full-time state employees to take up to 4 courses, either concurrently or separately, provided they do not exceed the 4 courses. So we're not changing that. That limit would stay. So it doesn't increase the number of courses permitted. It does not expand eligibility. It just simply provides flexibility in how the employees schedule their coursework and ensures clarity and consistency across the state government.
Do we have any questions? Representative Salinas?
So I don't know if people know this, but I taught in the College of Nursing in Memphis. And some of the courses aren't offered, especially in the smaller schools, aren't offered every year. They're offered once every 4 years, once every 2 years. So I just want to say thank you for bringing this legislation because it would allow people to finish their courses sooner and potentially graduate. That's what we want. And it would improve our workforce. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Any more questions? If not, we're ready to vote. Madam Clerk, please open the board for vote. All in favor of this legislation, please indicate by saying yes. Those opposed, no. Has everybody voted? Anybody want to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Madam Chair, you have 5 ayes and 0 noes.
The ayes have it, and you move on to full committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair and committee.
You're welcome. What's up next? Number 23. Next up is item number 23, which is House Bill 2098. And I have been asked by Representative Warner to roll this for 1 week. Looks like up next is item number 24, which is House Bill 2476 by Representative Langford. Do we have a motion and a second? Do we have a second? We do? Okay. There's no amendments filed, so Representative, please explain your bill. There is an amendment? Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to ask that we roll this 1 week.
Okay. Without objection, this bill is rolled for 1 week. That concludes our business today, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Sorry.
We got one more? Somebody we missed?
Number 13, we built it to the hill,
Oh, we certainly did.
but he's not in.
He's not in here. We were, item number 13, we rolled to the hill, so, House Bill 1906, so we'll roll it till next week. We are adjourned.